A lot of sales rely on the owner, the founder. They're the chief revenue officer, the chief sales officer, and it's all up in their head. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to help you get this out of your head. So if you're really going to build a system, right, that's sustainable, well, you need other people to help you do that. That marketing messaging, that brand magnetism, that also comes down to finding the right people to help you with your vision and your mission.
Hey everyone, it's Tamara Thompson with Broadcaster Authority. We're super excited for our next guest, Theresa Bassett. So she is a digital marketing agency CEO, business coach, and author who believes that both you and your business thriving 100% matters. And I completely agree with her. She champions the idea that you can create anything you truly commit to each day, and that's a gift, an opportunity, and a responsibility. She was raised in a family rooted in hard work, creativity, and a get-it-done mindset. I absolutely love this. Well, I'm so grateful and so excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's quite a joy and a privilege.
Where did you fly in from?
I flew from California because I was there for a business event for a few days, but I'm based in Wilmington, North Carolina.
So you had quite the journey over here.
Yeah, I've been on the road for a little bit, so it's been fun. It's fun to come out to the West Coast anytime I can.
Well, I know you're such a trailblazer in certain types of things. You're kind of a jack of all trades in the agency side and the coaching side, and you've helped so many different agencies and different people in business. How did you really get into this? Because you're the CEO and founder of the Diamond Group. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. We're going on our 30th anniversary this year. We're actually getting ready we're planning a party in April because I think any business that makes it past 3 years, let alone 30 years, deserves a party, many parties. My husband actually started our agency on the West Coast in San Francisco in 1995, and I met him in 2012. So I haven't been along for that entire journey. I was not one of the original founders. But like women typically do, we come in and we change everything, right? So, that was part of my role and responsibility. But prior to that, I had a coaching agency in Raleigh, North Carolina called Inspire. And I just love to help people move to their next level. So this was kind of a natural transition. Prior to owning my first business, my background is new home sales and marketing. And so I was really trained more professionally in the big corporate environment. And when I started my first business, I thought that's just what you do. You just build a big business because, that's what you do when you have a business. And so I paid a lot of dumb tax for that, but I also learned a lot and I was able to help a lot of people along the path. Yeah, the most expensive MBA ever, right? along the path. But when I met Kelly, my husband, he had a previous partner in the business, but was then kind of left on his own. His partner passed away. And my background being in sales and marketing, I thought, well, why would I be working 70 hours over here on my own business and you're working over here in your business? Why don't I just link arms with you? I actually, I feel like, I don't know, it took me 42 years to find the love of my life. Why do I want to spend 70 hours away from you every week? I just wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
And I could see that he could use a partner in the business. And so it was a real opportunity. Even though I didn't know a thing about agency life, I just learned it on the fly.
What do you think's like your most passionate piece about this, working with, your husband and then like learning a little bit more about building that, going through this process? Because you've actually worked with like Fortune 500 companies and things like that. So you've got an extensive background of people that you've helped, but what are you truly the most passionate about helping people with?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Tamara. When I get up in the morning, honestly, the thing that fuels me, I have a real heart of service for the small businesses in America. I feel like we have a joy and a responsibility. We provide over 86% of the jobs in the United States. That's a huge privilege. Only 6% of small businesses get over the 7-figure mark to truly thriving, right? And so a lot of small businesses really have more of a self-employed, they have a job, right? And
they've created a job for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've lived through that stress where everything relies on you. And so what I want to do, I really want to own the small and medium-sized business space and democratize sales and marketing for them. So they have access to big agency resources at small business prices, so that they can invest in their business and truly create sustainable sales and marketing systems. So we really have pivoted. I know that it says I have a digital marketing agency, but actually at this point, we're a revenue growth partner.
I love that.
We're really dedicated to creating sustainable sales and marketing systems that do not rely on the founder.
Mhm.
That for me is just so important because, I've been on the verge of burnout. I've been on the verge of bored out several times, right? I mean, both of those things are real things. And I know how hard the average small business owner works. And I really want to help people get over that sustainable threshold. That for me is like that's the goal.
What do you think are the key factors that are keeping CEOs stuck from reaching 7 figures, 8 figures, and beyond?
Yeah, that is such a great question. Honestly, I see a lot of people being in their own way. I see a lot of mindset issues. The day that I decided that I wanted to build a business, not have a self-employed, operation, is the day everything changed. I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And in that book, he talks about the 4 cash flow quadrants, right? So you have E, S, B, I. And, but he has a page in there where he literally says the bridge that you build from the S quadrant to the B quadrant is the best bridge you'll ever, build, but it's also the hardest. And then literally on that page, he doesn't say how to do it. And so I'm like, okay, I want to be, how do I do it? Right. And so that has really been my journey of the last 10 years, has been figuring out how to build that bridge. And the first piece is just a business owner committing and saying, I don't want to just have a job. I want to have something that can sustain itself without me. I can literally go on vacation for 3 weeks or 4 weeks and come back and my business is better than before, right? Or I could pass this to my children. I could sell this business. I could roll it up into something else. I could grow it. That to me is that unlocks the world, right? Because for me, I'm a philanthropist. I love to give back. I want to have the ability to go to Africa for 2 weeks and not stress every minute. I don't want to be on my phone checking to see if I need to return an email. I have other things to do in the world. And I think that so many business owners have this heart of service, not just for their clients, customers, and patients, but for their families, right? They want to be there for their kids' soccer games and for the graduations and the weddings and not just darting in and out in between emails and texts, right? And so I want to give them the keys to that kingdom where business owners can truly be there for their families. And then also the step beyond that, contribute to their community and to the planet in the way that they feel called to do. So many business owners that I talk to, they have nonprofits they want to start. They have things they want to give back to, but they literally don't have time or money or resources for their passion projects because they're so tied up with their day job. Does that make sense? So I think it really starts with just knowing it, staking a claim to it and say, I don't know the way to build that bridge, but by Jove, I'm building that bridge, right? And then from there, it's all tactical and strategic. It's like, okay, now what do I do? Now that I've made this decision, how do I get in the right room with the right people to help teach me and guide me what to do?
Yeah. So we know a lot of it is mindset, but there's other things like you do, building systems and strategies and putting that in place. So what does that look like from a technical standpoint? Are you helping them with the CRMs? What is that? What are you doing to work with them?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure that it's probably a much longer answer than you want.
We're here.
But
people need systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Systems is the key. I mean, I think in terms of systems about every single thing I do, actually annoyingly so, right down to buying gifts for my family is a system.
You have a calendar.
Yeah. But yeah, you've got to have inbound marketing. So people have to be magnetized to your brand. The messaging has to be clear. And you have to have a clear digital doorstep for them to walk through, right? To have an experience with your brand. You have to have outbound sales efforts. So you have to have a very clear, defined sales path and process. It has to be documented so that you can literally duplicate it, train somebody else on it, and it doesn't all rely on you. A lot of sales rely on the owner, the founder. They're the chief revenue officer, the chief sales officer, and it's all up in their head. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to help you get this out of your head. Because how are you supposed to teach Johnny how to do it or Jane how to do it if it's all reliant on you, right? So inbound marketing, outbound sales, a talent magnet, and a talent development system. So if you're really going to build a system, right, that's sustainable, well, you need other people to help you do that. Like nobody is on an island is going to do this by themselves, right? And so you have to, that marketing messaging, that brand magnetism, that also comes down to finding the right people to help you with your vision and your mission.
That delegation.
And you have to just be like a honey, have something so attractive that people want to be a part of. And then, have a path for them. I'm a progress equals happiness person. And so I've created a progress equals happiness development path for my employees and my team because I feel like we all want to have a clear vision of where we're going. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And, I wake up every day asking myself that question. And so I kind of just assume everybody does, which may not be the case. But so a talent development system. And then obviously operations and finance. You just really have to have clarity and help with, being able to see your numbers and not be afraid of them. And if that's not you, then form a complementary team so that you really have somebody that you trust along your side. And I'm so blessed. My CFO is my husband, Kelly. And so we have a lot of tension sometimes, right? Because he's a tactical, I'm the visionary, and it's like, I want to do this. He's like, no way, right?
That balance.
but I totally trust his judgment, and I trust that even if he's not telling me the information that I want to hear, that it's the information that I really need as a CEO to make good decisions that are aligned with my vision and where we're going. So systems.
Yeah, it sounds like there are so many systems and strategies that you help employ, but it seems like you have also had this huge mindset shift over the course of your journey. What's the mindset shift that you really guide your clients through, going from, like you said, that solopreneur, being the employee in your own business, to this incredible vision that you hold for your clients?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I don't know that if I could point to like any single moment, but I think giving yourself permission to ask what if, right? Like, what if this?
Yeah.
And so I think I've just been really blessed and graced with the ability to ask that question over and over and give myself permission to explore that. I would say that, I came from, yes, a very hardworking family, but my dad was very creative. My mother is very creative. And so I feel like I have the gift of imagination to just go like, well, what if we did this? Well, what if it looked like this? Well, what if we went here? And I always had a feeling, even from the time I was a teenager, that I was meant for something that was much bigger than myself. And I knew even when I was like 13 that I was going to be a writer in my late 40s. Like, go figure that, right? So I think that I also was just blessed with a lot of vision and the ability to just keep cracking that nut open and asking, well, what if you did this? Well, what if you did that? And just keep chasing that down. I really believe that we're here to co-create progress for everybody that we touch.
And it sounds like such a wonderful system that you have, particularly with your partner, to be able to hold the vision and then guide your clients, asking them, what if we tried this? What if we did this? And almost encouraging them, working them to see themselves as more of a visionary in their own business themselves.
1,000%. And a lot of people are so mired down in survival, right? Their goal is to pay the bills that month.
Yeah.
Their goal is to have enough money to go on that vacation. And most people just need to think bigger and give themselves permission to think bigger about projects and passions and things that, that they can't think beyond. I mean, if you think about, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, safety and security is first, and then health and happiness comes later. And so I get the survival mode. I've lived there. I've been through really tough times, financially, health-wise, relationship-wise. And that makes you really resilient, but you have to get outside the survival mentality so that you can say, well, what does thriving really look like? Like, what if I had, the time I really needed to take care of myself? What if I really had the resources to go the places I really wanted to go? And so you're right. I think we all need the encouragement and the permission sometimes. I mean, I think especially as women, a lot of times we put ourselves at the bottom of the to-do list because we're so busy doing for everybody else. Right. And so we take care of our kids and we take care of our partners and we take care of our mothers and we take care of our siblings and we take care of our everything else around us. And then we're like, well, whatever's left at the end of the day, then I'm going to get on the treadmill.
Or you go to the spa.
Yeah. Then I'm going to go to the spa and I'm going to check out. Yeah. And I think that's why we need the encouragement of other people to come alongside of us and say, hey, what if you put yourself in as a non-negotiable? What is really possible then, right? And I think that is such a special place to hold for people because it just gets them to go, maybe I've been thinking about this backwards for a minute. So I think that's really a really cherished position as a business owner, serving clients, customers, and patients, because every single person is just on their own journey, right? Just like I am. And so, yeah, I mean, it makes for some fun conversations.
These are really powerful mindset and paradigm shifts that you're bringing to your clients. I'm curious, what are some of the biggest transformations that you've seen from working with some of these business owners and teams after they have implemented these shifts, these mindset shifts that you're giving them? Yeah,
that's awesome. I actually just had one kind of smack me in the face the other day. It's funny. I've been working with a custom builder in our area, and he found me. I hold a Jumpstart challenge. It's a Jumpstart sales challenge in the spring and the fall. I build my business in sprints. And so I give myself 90 days of really immersive energy in the spring and in the fall, because I like to take time. I'm a coastal person. I like to take time out on the beach in the summer and to go to Michigan and enjoy the water. And I'm also the chief merrymaker in my house. So I'm like the decorator and the baker and the gift giver and everything. So I have to have time off in December or I just literally go crazy. So this sprint mentality has really guided me. And I started working with a client through one of my Jumpstart challenges. We just started to get to know each other. He transferred into becoming a marketing client of mine. And then I started working with him on a sales process. And he became a coaching client. And I work with a very small handful of one-on-one clients. And we went down this road of just continuing to ask, well, what if this? Well, what if this? Well, what if you thought just a little bit different about that? And, and I'm happy to say this is not through, my effort. I mean, he had to apply all of these things that we're talking about. And I think with the grace of God, he's been given the energy to do that. But he has 10x'd his revenue and 3x'd his profit in the last 3 years.
That's
and
incredible.
He is solidly on the path to a B, right? He is not going to get stuck in the S quadrant. And that makes my heart sing.
How long did that take to go from, when you were asking the what if, and then making that shift to the B?
3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've seen it over and over and over in my life. I went from food stamps to millionaire real estate investor in 3 years. I've been, I've seen my world shift multiple times in 3 years. There's something, we can accomplish so much in 36 months. We have it's just mind blowing. And so it's been really fun to be his cheerleader, right? And to be his coach and to be, just on the journey with him. I wear his shirts. I champion him. And when he has a victory, he texts me and I do the Snoopy happy dance. And it's we're on this journey together. And that's really fun. I think that's what we're here to do for each other, So, yeah. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've seen, so many changes. I mean, we helped a third generation business. Grandfather passed it to the father, passed it to the son. They've literally just quadrupled their business, been able to retire the parents. They bought a really nice yacht. I mean, a cabin cruiser, and they're cruising up and down the intercoastal now. But that's only possible because they created systems to get the knowledge out of the dad's head, to pass it to the son, to create sales systems and marketing systems so that it didn't all rely on him, right? And to your point about marketing technology, we had to put the marketing technology underneath it. So yes, a CRM, we're a HubSpot Platinum agency. And so we love HubSpot because, there's a lot of platforms out there, but HubSpot really started in the small and medium-sized business space. And they're really, really good at gluing all the Sales Hub, Marketing Hub, Content Hub, Service Hub pieces together for growing and scaling businesses. And so it's our tool set of choice. We'll work on other platforms, but that is by far one of the best platforms out there. And that you need the technology underneath what you're doing so that you can log into a single place, right? And that builder, no coincidence, is on HubSpot, right? He's building his empire on a platform that can grow and scale with him so that he can have systems. And yes, he can have somebody else log into the system and see all of his intellectual property. We start out working with clients, and so many times their contacts are on little slips of paper, notebooks in their car, or business cards in their purse. And it's like, okay, let's get this intellectual property in a proper place that you can use it, because honestly, it's property of the company. And so, one of your most transferable assets as a business owner, if you want to maximize valuation and pass it, is your email list. You have to treat your email list like an asset of the business, right? And so many people don't. So remarkable changes are possible, but you have to get out of your own way and you have to build systems, right?
Yeah. So there's like AI qualifier agents now. So like if you're in Instagram Messenger and you're running ads to Instagram Messenger or Facebook forum ads, a qualifier agent bot will start having a conversation when the lead comes in. And it's so natural. The bot writes better than me.
Yeah.
I was like shocked. And I'm like watching these conversations they're having. And it's like witty conversations. And so how do you feel? Have you seen those bots before? Like how do you feel about something like that? And the bot will lead the lead to a call when they're qualified.
You can also use AI for the sales call.
I have seen them, and I think AI is amazing. I think AI is just a tool, right? And so any tool, I mean, we see that with social media. Like there's terrifying things happening because of social media. And there's amazing things happening because of social media. So any tool can be used for good or for evil, right? And AI is no exception to that. I think the value of that in part is it frees up the business owner's time.
It streamlines
it, and it also makes it consistent. Mm-hmm. This bot does not have an emotional attachment to like what they ate for breakfast or whether their spouse was on the right side of the bed when they woke up.
What's so cool about it? So we have these bots set up through Messenger ads, through Instagram that also lead to Facebook forums. And then we also have it through text messages. So these individuals believe they're talking to a real person. And it's so funny because it redirects them and it's very empathetic. And it's just like, it's
awesome.
It's like the most incredible thing. And I was like, yes, it's true. They write better than her.
There are points, though, where you want to remove the tag from your CRM so that the AI bot stops the communication, because you might want to jump in as a human yourself and continue that conversation. It might be more intimate of a conversation, or maybe you're just like, let's get on a call now, which I've done several times, which is really cool. I'm so excited about this.
Oh, it's so exciting. And if you think about it, like sales is one of the things people have the biggest aversion to. And a lot of times it's because people get into their particular industry, coaches, consultants, speakers. I mean, but even physicians, they get into it because they have a heart of service for the people they want to serve. And they tend to think of sales as something kind of slippery, right? Kind of like you're in the persuading and convincing business. I don't believe we're in the convincing and persuading business. I believe we're in the sharing and service business. I think sales is just service. And if people don't know how you can serve them, how are they supposed to tap into the resources that you have, right? So I think AI could be really useful, especially for those people who have an aversion or a mindset, or like, they have a kink in their garden hose somewhere around sales, and, that helps them get out of their own way, right? So it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, you got to be willing to tackle the technology a little bit, just manhandle it and wrestle with it a little bit. And I think you said something really important about tweaking. You said it as well. People think of sales and marketing as like set it and forget it. Oh my gosh. Is it set it and forget it? Absolutely not, right? It's like, it's a journey just like anything. Is anything in your business set it and forget it?
No.
Why would sales and marketing be like that? There's no magic pill or formula. Like you're just going to set up this one funnel and it's going to be amazing forever. Like you have to, it's a journey and you just constantly have to tweak and iterate and test. And, the best thing is if you can find a partner to help you do that so that you're not doing it all by yourself. Right. So yeah, I think AI is going to be amazing. It already is amazing. I do think that AI is it has a lack of veracity. I mean, the truthfulness of some of the facts that it spits out. What we see a lot of times in content creation is it'll literally pose something as facts that are not facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's based on like where, depends on where it's pulling the information based on also who's created the platform.
Right.
So it's very interesting on that side. But the fact of AI is extremely efficient with the time uses and having a team that manages it. So it has that human touch. But even utilizing things like ChatGPT, we're going in and creating full-on customer voices profiles, right? So
That's
you're
what we're doing,
creating an exact prompt for that brand, that show, that podcast. And you're able to add like 19 different factors and prompts into one prompt. You're creating the customer profile experience. So when it spits out the information in the copy, it is truly within that brand's voice at this point. It is not, this generated, I can tell that's AI. It's getting to the point where you cannot tell that it's AI on the copywritten side, just for like.
And I think that's amazing. We actually have built out our own ChatGPT for the Diamond Group, and we've fed it, all my books. Yep. And all like a whole series of emails I've written. And so now it has the Theresa voice. Yeah. All the Theresisms are in the AI agent.
What's so unique about it, right? You can, within a matter of minutes, create an entire program, essence, retreat model, a course, your 90-day sprints, like all of the information can be formulated and tweaked into the way that you want to. And that's what's so unique about AI is the efficiency factor, and then having someone manage it that cares about the brand and the clients on that side. And so I actually love AI at this point because we utilize it in the majority of our company and our team for the process of actually being efficient. But making sure that it matters, like the copy and the care and the essence of put into that, and people overseeing the tools as well, because there's a lot of cool tools out there, but they don't necessarily have that next point that ChatGPT has created within its model now. So it's really cool to see, though.
I agree. I share your excitement, and I think people are, they're afraid that it's going to take their jobs.
Yeah.
And I think
they just need to be confident to the fact that they can come in and help consult
it
and utilize it and be the leader.
Utilize it and free you up in doing some of the more mundane or the entry level stuff where you're researching or ideating, and then you can start with something and then actually do the higher level strategic piece on top of it. So it's
100%.
freeing you up from some of this rote task level stuff, and then allowing you to really get into that mindset piece where you can really go to the what if, because you're not so bogged down in the survival pieces of just getting that stuff done. Right. So I agree. I think it's super exciting, and we're using it in every single department.
I love that. I love that. So you have your sprints coming up. Can you share with the audience a little bit more about your sprints and how they can connect with you, and like what you're most passionate about coming up in 2025?
Yeah, that's a free offering. That is really my way to give back to the coaching and mentoring community. I've been fed by so many great mentors and coaches. So this is just a free virtual event. I host it every March and September, and registration is going live in just a couple days. This year, it's March 10th to 14th. It's always middle of March, middle of September. And it's 5 days. We hop on live at noon. And each day has a theme. The whole goal of the sprint is to get your butt in gear, right? And then stay in gear. So, our proprietary system at the Diamond Group is called Momentum. And even for those people that don't want to become clients or aren't ready to tackle team managed services, that's fine. then it's even more important that you as the founder, if you're a DIYer, then really own your energy in your business. And so that sprint, the Jumpstart Sales Challenge, is really geared to, it's the fusion of personal and professional energy, because sales starts with you and ends with you. So if sales is sharing and service, you got to get yourself in a position where your energy is clear, your energy is high. You're creating things from the very highest and best place in your business. And that's what the Jumpstart Sales Challenge is all about. So yeah, I'm super excited because it kind of kicks off 90 days of like amazing stuff. And I've literally watched people, I watched one lady find a piece of property and build her dream house in the 90-day sprint. I've watched people like take their business to a whole different level in the 90-day sprint. So you can actually check out my book on Amazon as well. I wrote a book about that methodology called Up Level. Really taking your business and your life to the next level. And that's on Amazon. So you can check it out there as well. But for anybody who would like to connect, you can find me on social media. Theresa L. Bassett is my handle across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And I would love to connect. We have a lot of opportunities coming up. We're launching new products and services every day for business owners, both under $1 million and all the way up to $30 million. So we have several different tiers and levels available. And for any business owner that's looking to get out of their own way and get from the S quadrant to the B quadrant and truly have a business with a sustainable sales and marketing system, the Diamond Group, it might be a good fit for you. Diamonds are created under pressure, just like small businesses and their founders.
I love that. I didn't even think about that with the pressure of
no
the diamonds.
pressure, no diamonds, Tamara.
Wow, no kidding. No, I love that. Well, I super appreciate you for joining us today and flying out. You showed such golden nuggets on that and diamond knowledge.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Theresa, for joining us. And those that are watching, be sure to subscribe to our channel at Broadcast Your Authority. Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you tune into your podcasts. And we'll see you in the next episode.